Well, when Anne-Marie was not quite 5 years old, she was involved in a car accident. She fell out of one car and got hit by another. And in falling, she lost the skin from her left hand and all the skin from her face. And in the emergency room, they wanted to stitch her up. And I said, no, please, I would like a plastic surgeon. And about an hour later, this very tall man came to me and said, I'm the plastic surgeon. I don't want to stitch her face. We'll put saline solutions and she'll be all right. So, you know, you're at the mercy of everyone. I said, fine. And thereafter, every morning and every afternoon, he would visit. And when he arrived, he would be like the scourge of the hospital. He'd scream and carry on. And the nurses were terrified of him, and he'd say, the saline solutions are too dry, this child is going to be scarred, I'll have your jobs for this. And they all dreaded his arrival, but he was always very nice to us. And after about a week, I noticed he always wore the same clothes. A dark brown tweed jacket, a beige shirt, a dark tweed tie, dark brown pants, dark brown socks, and dark brown shoes. And I remarked to my family, he's always dressed the same. You think for a doctor he might have different outfits, right. You know? So after a while we paid particular attention. I'd say, Anne-Marie, when he comes in, let's see if he's got the same outfit on. And sure enough, he was always dressed the same. And I even sort of went near him to see if he smelled or something. But he was fine, you know? So finally, as she was going to get discharged, and I said to him, Doctor, I'd like your card because if she needs any follow-up, I'd like to come to see you. And I remember he went in his pocket, and then he went like this, and he said, I must have left my cards home. I'll bring them tomorrow. And we never saw him again. A few months after, the bills started coming in, and there were many bills, anesthetist, cardiologist, neurologist, a team of surgeons for her hip, and no bill from this particular doctor. So I went to my...
That is an angel.
Yeah, that, right? I'm sorry. So I went to my pediatrician, and I said, could you please give me the name of the plastic surgeon? I'd like to see how much the bill is. And he said, well, I don't know where he came from.
What?
I said, well, didn't you recommend him? He said, no, I thought you recommended him. So I said, oh. And then I called the neurologist, and they said, well, what have we got to do with this? We're neurologists. And then when she went to see the orthopedic surgeons, I said, you know, could you give me the name? They said, what have we got to do with it? We are orthopedic surgeons. We don't know anything about plastic surgeons. So I was getting a little, you know, anxious about this, and I went to the hospital, and I went to the office, and I said, could you please give me the doctor's name? I'd like to get in touch with them. And she looked it up, and she said, we have no such doctor on our staff.
No such doctor?